Dayton Shaw will lead us in our invocation and pledge.
Father, we are grateful for the day. We thank you for the wisdom that you've given us as a city. We ask that you bless this time and the decisions we make. We ask for your peace to envelop everything we do. And we thank you for Jesus. And it's his name I pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ladner.
Here.
McMasters.
Here.
Jackson. Pike.
Here.
Pepper.
Here. All right, this is a special call meeting. We have a work session that starts at 5. Herman, you want to talk to us about the special meeting?
Yes, thank you. The law provides that if you're in a regular or special call council meeting, you can go into executive session to discuss with your legal counsel pending or actual litigation, options involving that. And in this case, I ask that you go into, you have to be in a formal council meeting in order to go into executive session. I ask that you vote to go into executive session so I can discuss with you the legal ramifications of and legal options involving pending litigation. Now, this litigation we're going to talk about has been in place for well over a year, so it has nothing to do with the last few months. I want the public to know that, and to you to know that. So I would request that you vote to go into executive session. I would ask that part of that motion that would be made that you would adjourn after that executive session, the council meeting, which means that you would then come back here and have your work session.
Yep.
We would go to the 6th floor. Only those involved in this matter can be a part of that because there are no notes taken. It's just basically to update you and give you some options.
And there's, just to be clear, in executive session, there are no votes and really cannot be
Right,
any
no deliberation, no votes,
Yeah.
that's right. It's more of an opportunity for the attorney to talk to you and give you the options and where we are in a particular litigation, okay?
So moved. Second. And that's a motion to move into executive session and also to adjourn the meeting upstairs in executive session. Okay, motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pepper. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye. The motion to move into executive session passes with a vote of 4-0.
And I've got a written statement, just said what I just said.
Okay.
I'll give it to the city clerk, have that on file. Where's, I'm gonna go to 6th floor.
Who has it?
Well, did you pass it down? I just
I got you. When you get done with that, you know your name. Nita, will you? Well, when you get done with it, will you give it to the city clerk, please? We'll go ahead and get started with our work session. This is for our February 19th council meeting. First on the agenda is approve monthly bills, approve January 2024 monthly bills. Any questions? All right, next is approval of minutes, January 29th, 2024, February 5th, 2024, and 5:30 p.m. council work session, and 6 p.m. council meeting. Any questions? All right, public hearings, ordinance 244575, approved zoning for Acra Lane Southeast.
Good evening, council. This is the rezoning to Ag 1 for Acra Lane Southeast. We annexed it into the city a few months back. It's for a subdivision with 3/4 acre lots to acre lots.
All right, any questions? Thanks, Dane. All right, weed abatements, resolution 24027, assess $578 against wooded lot north of Avalon Avenue Southeast. Any questions? All right, resolutions, resolution 24005, approve the contract from Lightwire Solutions for managed IT services for Parks and Recreation in Point Mallard. Steph?
Good evening, Mayor, Council President, Council. This resolution is for Lightwire Solutions to be contracted as an extension of our internal IS team to provide services to help support Decatur Park and Rec. Currently, the IS department handles all of the needs of all of the city departments. This includes all computers, laptops, iPads, tablets, phones, fax lines, emails, accounting and finance software, timekeeping systems, security servers, firewalls, and cybersecurity, just to mention a few. A while ago, we at Park and Rec met with the IS department and the finance department to discuss our IS needs at that time and going forward. Park and Rec have needs now, and hopefully in the near future, that will continue to grow based on customer service and convenience for our community. Those needs include new websites and apps, online reservations and sign-ups, point-of-sale systems, and security needs, just to name a few. There are so many recreational opportunities coming to the city, we need to make sure that all of our systems are easy and convenient for our residents. And we're asking for your support on this resolution.
Thanks. Any questions for Steph? All right, resolution 24028, approved request from Verizon Wireless for a special use permit to modify equipment on the existing tower located at 201 Vine Street.
Good afternoon, President, Council, Mayor. David Andrews with CMS, the city's consultant for wireless telecommunication. This first resolution is for an application made by Verizon Wireless. This is on the 301-foot self-support tower that's on Vine Street. It's owned by the railroad company. Verizon is already providing service from this tower. They're requesting to remove 3 of the existing antennas, replace them with 6 new antennas. This is for a 5G upgrade to the downtown area. CMS has reviewed the application, recommends approval.
Any questions? Resolution 24029, approved request from AT&T Wireless for a special use permit to modify equipment on the existing tower located at 201 Vine.
Yes, sir. This application is for AT&T on the same exact tower. They're requesting to do a 5G upgrade on that tower as well. They will be removing 3 antennas, replacing them with 6. In addition to that, they will be adding a surge protector and a couple feed lines to the tower. CMS has reviewed that application and recommends approval by the council.
Any questions? Thanks, David.
Yes, sir.
Resolution 24030, authorize Decatur Fire and Rescue to accept grant from Firehouse Subs for equipment.
Good evening, council. Tracy Thornton, Fire Department. What this resolution is for is we applied for one of the Firehouse Subs grants, and we was awarded that grant. This is to buy equipment. Most of it's going to be going towards the fireboat that we'll be getting off a grant also. In the resolution, it had a list of all the equipment that's on there. The grant's a little under $25,000 on it.
All right, any questions? Thanks, Chief. Resolution 24031, approve M&J Precision Sewer Extension Economic Investment. Nathan?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Council. Nathan Tomberlin, P. Wright McAnally, 310 8th Avenue, Decatur, Alabama, here on behalf of our client M&J Precision. The request to the Decatur City Council for economic development investment for the extension of sanitary sewer for Geis Industries. Geis is currently growing beyond their footprint right now, looking to expand further, and their on-site sewer needs can no longer handle the growth, so they're looking for an investment from the city to extend sewer down to their company where they plan to expand.
All right, any questions? All right, ordinance's first reading, ordinance 244576, declare surplus and convey 401 11th Avenue Southwest and 311 5th Avenue Northwest.
Yes, Alan Stover, Community Development Manager with the City of Decatur. These are the two lots that I brought to the council a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of council meetings ago, to purchase from the state. So this will be just turning around and selling them to Mr. Watkins.
All right, any questions? All right, boards and committees, appoint Jeremy Goforth to the Board of Zoning Adjustment, full member, term expiring December 31st, 26.
Yes, he would be taking Mr. Mauer's position, who did not seek re-election to the board. And the term will still be the same that he currently had as a supernumerary.
Okay, appoint Tom Polk to the Board of Zoning Adjustment to a full member, term expiring December 31st, 2024.
He would be taking Mr. Allen's position, as he has currently resigned, and Mr. Allen's position ends December 31st, 2024, so Mr. Polk would have the availability of being reelected next year.
Okay. All right, any questions? And then appoint Flor Gonzalez to the Board of Zoning Adjustment as a supernumerary, term expiring December 31st, 26.
Ms. Gonzalez would be taking Mr. Goforth's position in the supernumerary position.
Okay. All right, any questions there? All right, we will move into our public comment portion. Sorry, I'm just kidding, like 5 people have stuff to add. Herman, do you want to go first?
Yeah, thank you. I just would ask that we add to this 19th agenda a budget amendment to cover additional acquisition cost in the Bill Grant project, totaling $5 million. It would come from the general fund unassigned balance. I'd like to put that on the agenda so we can move forward getting it accomplished.
It's fine for me to add that. Did you have something? Okay, Jason. HVAC.
I'm the HVAC bad news person. The campground's HVAC has went out. We've been dealing with it for about a month now. They tried to get parts for it. That unit was put in '96. So, yeah, so it's done well, but they can't get parts for it. So,
Okay.
if we could add that to this agenda, it would be a blessing.
Yeah, it's fine. Anybody need to add anything else?
Well, I had
Okay.
one other. I didn't.
What's the cost on that, Jason?
17,625. And if you ask me 5 minutes from now, I would have no idea.
Perfect.
But I did right now. One of the things, I didn't want to interrupt Stephanie because she sounds a lot better with that than I do. But you know, we talk a lot about the rec center project, the fields out at Jack Allen, the Point Mallard projects that are going on. But I did want to mention a couple other projects that we've been working on, and I would like to have the opportunity to talk to council about. One is, the main one would be another attraction for the water park. We're going on about 10 years right now since we did the Lazy River. Just to give you a little background with that is I think we told everybody that we would be able to pay Lazy River off in 5 years. I think we did it 4. It changed a lot of the ways that we did things as far as spreading the park out. But one of the things is, you know, Point Mallard has always been and will always be, as long as it's a family park. It's a place where people can bring their kids and have a good time. And the kiddie pool attraction that's there, the best way to put it is it's been very valuable for a long period of time, and we've been very blessed to have it. But we sure would like to see what the next phase of that could be, and we would like to have that conversation with all of you and appreciate any feedback we would get. The only other one was, and if Elvis Larkin's listening, I don't know how many of y'all remember Elvis, but he was our golf pro for a long time. He got on to me because we're not doing anything for golf, but we are. We have a great golf course. It's done better over the last several years as far as it don't lose near the amount of money it used to, and we've been able to really keep things to where they look good. But one of the things is the irrigation. Anybody that plays out there knows that we've had irrigation problems. So we've had Eric Merck, there's just nobody better than him, working with us to put together an irrigation plan for that out there. We'll have it ready by mid-year, and we'll be able to look at it on the we'll put it on the capital at mid-year, and that way we can look and see how it fits in the budget this year, next year. So, but one of the things I would like to ask for, whether this next council meeting or not this council meeting, but the one after, maybe the one after that, whenever we have time, is to talk to you about the new trash. And we have some stuff that it would take about 5 to 10 minutes, probably 10 minutes or so. So it wouldn't take a long time, but it's really good information. I think it's something y'all would really be excited about.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe would it be better at a work session?
It would.
Okay.
It would, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Anybody else have anything to add? All right, now we will move into public comments. As we do every week, we'll do 3 minutes. We'll let everybody clear out for a second. All right, please no profanity and try to keep it productive. We will start with Alexis Jordan from CEO to come first.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alexis Jordan, and I am a junior at Austin High School. I am so honored to be able to speak with y'all today about the Cato Morgan CEO program and the opportunity before our class, and I'm asking our city councilman, and our community to support us this week on our business project. The Decatur Morgan CEO program is where juniors and seniors in high school across Morgan County can apply to be accepted into a business program to start real companies as a high school and dual enrollment class with UAH. We are in the middle of hearing from over 100 different businesses and speakers in Morgan County. We've heard from many of you and look forward to meeting the rest of our council. We have chosen last August to be a part of national documentary series called Learn to Earn with Midland Institute for Entrepreneurship. Midland founded the CEO program in Illinois. CEO stands for Creating Entrepreneurial Opportunities. Decatur Morgan CEO was the first program of its kind in Alabama. We've seen students go on to start many businesses, and how now we have a huge opportunity before us. We have a film crew in Decatur this week from California, and they've been following us all as we compete against Madison CEO. Madison was the second program in Alabama. We received $1 last week, and we have until this Friday to make as much as possible of this week. This money will help us all launch our individual business here in our community. We are competing with Madison to see which community can work to earn more money. We believe our community is better than Madison. We are more than the headlines read by others outside of this community about us, and we believe we can make much more money than Madison in the competition. We are asking you to support us this week. Do you need a cake for Valentine's? We've got you. Do you need your driveway pressure washed? We've got you. Do you want to try Kool-Aid pickles? We've got you. Do you need something clean or organized? We got you. Do you need a Valentine's gift? We've got you. Do you need photography for your family or your business? We've got you. We have to do all this during this week, and we are asking our community to rally behind us. You can find out how to support us on our organization Facebook page, Decatur Morgan CEO. Thank you for supporting your young entrepreneurs in your community and for helping us prove that Decatur is greater. We look forward to announcing that we won on Friday, and we look forward to showing our community this journey of becoming small business owners. Thank you.
CEO is an awesome program. We were the first, Decatur was the first in Alabama to have CEO as part of our community, and this is the 4th class, Megan, 5th class. And I've gotten to talk to, I think, all 5, and they are always extremely impressive, as you can see. So thank you for that.
Just to add something on there, the teachers here today, Miss Megan, and Megan has been leading all the kids, and then I see Dr. Owens here. She said, I think she serves on the board. Do you serve on the board, Dr. Owens, or you serve on the East Center board? Never mind. You serve on the East Center board, okay.
That's Dr. Rice.
Dr. Rice, that's right. Okay, Dr. Rice serves on the board for the CEO program, but the CEO program is a wonderful benefit to juniors and seniors all throughout the city and Morgan County. So it benefits a lot of kids, and I've had the pleasure of speaking to the kids in the programs. But yesterday, I'm sure a lot of you know, it was storming throughout the state, and I was doing a little bit of work at my office, and I heard a pressure washer outside. And it started pouring, and it was raining and very windy, and it started lightning outside. So I called Megan and said, hey, I said, I think one of your kids is out here pressure washing the sidewalk. I said, it's lightning outside. Could you call him and tell him to come inside, because he won't listen? I was like, and she was like, yeah, let me give him a call. So I walk outside, and I'm like, hey, I think you should come inside. I'm like, I think it's a little dangerous out here. And he proceeds to tell me that he's got to get the job done, you know. And so when Megan called him, he still wouldn't come inside, and he was determined to get the job done. So that speaks volumes for the kids that are in this program, because they're determined to get what they say they're going to do, they're going to do it. And so it puts a lot of effort into the community, especially from them. So I'm very glad to see this program here. I'm glad that we were number 1 in the state to start the program. So hats off to the CEO program.
Thanks, Mr. Pepper. All right, first we have Courtney Ritchie on the list.
I have not wanted to come here. I've been watching this for months now. Since September 29th. I've watched every single work session meeting. I've been mad every time. I've cried. And something in me has been telling me that I needed to come and talk to y'all. Not y'all. No offense, but I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. I'm talking to everybody else that's watching right now. I have a story to tell, but before I tell that story, I have something that I want to say. You don't have to say anything back. It's just a statement. It's a fact. Every one of the resolutions or whatever that somebody's come up here and asked money for, and y'all thought, you know, for a half a second on each one of them and awarded it. All of that money could be going to help the homeless population here in Decatur. That is so large. Again, like I said, you don't have to say anything back to that. That's just an observation that I just picked up on. The story that I'm going to tell starts in 2013, January 2nd, 2013 to be exact. Me and my boyfriend at the time, my daughter's father, and my 3-year-old daughter and my best friend were robbed at gunpoint. Decatur Police Department came and thought we had done it to ourselves. Wanted us to take lie detector tests. We didn't, of course. You know, we didn't. No, sir, we don't do that here. So, okay, let's see. Let's fast forward to 2016. 16. I get with this horrible person. I shouldn't have, knew better, but I mean, you know, you live and learn. However, he was quite abusive, quite. He put me in the hospital 6 separate times. But in 2016, he was arrested for burning me with a cigarette after knocking me unconscious. I do what many girls did and do, and I got back together with him after that. You know, we do stupid crap like that. About a year later, he goes to jail again for pulling me down 14 concrete steps by my ponytail. And then a year later from that, 2018, we had our last fight, in which he was on top of me on the ground, choking me. My only form of defense, you guys, was to scratch his face and his neck, you know, that's all I could do. I finally managed to get out from underneath him and leave. And I went home. And then Decatur Police Department shows up at my house with me and my daughter and my great-grandfather, who we were living with at the time, and I took care of until he passed away in 2018 at the very end. But unfortunately, he was there that night. That Decatur Police Department came and arrested me in front of my daughter and my great-grandfather, because the guy that did that to me looked worse than I did. I went to the hospital when I got out of jail that night. I had a concussion. But did y'all care? No. Let's fast forward to 2021. June 21st, 2021 to be exact. Excuse me, June 22nd. That's my sobriety birthday, you guys. I got sober a little over 2.5 years ago. And then that's when I thought that my trials and tribulations with Decatur Police Department would have stopped. You know, that would make sense, correct? I'm not drinking and doing drugs anymore. You would think that that would stop, right? It didn't. You remember, you were there.
Ms. Ritchie,
I'm so sorry. You're right. I only have 3 minutes. Let me wrap it up then, I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. I'm at my sobriety birthday, guys. Okay. Well, then, last year, I was going to work at 6:36 a.m. on 6th Avenue. You were in front of me.
Ma'am, if you can address us and not city employee.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Okay, well, she was in front of me. And I'm, you know, living my life on my way to work, because one does. And she gets over into the right lane and lets me. And then she slows down and gets behind me and then turns her lights on. And my first thought was, oh, I must have a headlight out, right? Because I wasn't doing anything wrong. She comes to my window, and I asked her, why, you know, why I'm being pulled over? And she says, for following too closely. And I said, following who too closely? Her. I said, ma'am, you were closer to the vehicle in front of you than I was to your vehicle. I could see 20 feet of road in between my vehicle and your vehicle. But then she did school me on when you're following a vehicle, then you have to have 20 feet per 10 miles per hour. And we were going 40 miles per hour, so therefore I should have had 80 feet in between us. Thank you for that, by the way. I'm so sorry I talked to her again. Okay, well, then she goes to, I give her my license and registration. She goes to her vehicle. I call my daughter's father. He's the only person I knew that was awake at that moment. And I didn't want to not, I wanted to be on the phone with someone because I don't trust you. And she comes back to my car and starts going over the ticket that she is issuing me. And she tells me, oh, well, you can pay it online. I was like, no, ma'am, I will not be paying it online. I will be seeing you in court. Do you remember? Okay, well, so then, let's see. Oh, and then while I'm telling her this, she doesn't let me finish. She goes to hand me the ticket, and since I'm still speaking, I did not take it from her immediately. She didn't like that, so she threw it in my face in my car. Okay, but I'm a bigger person. I go to work like we do. Okay, let's fast forward about a month. In 2019, let me back up just a minute. In 2019, I had a domestic violence assault charge put on me, which rightfully so. I was drinking, I was a horrible person back then. Whatever, I should have gone to jail. However, COVID happened, right? So I didn't go to court for it until a few months ago. But I'm at work one day. It was a Friday to be exact. My daughter calls. She was at home that day. And she said, Mama, and I could hear it in her voice. She was terrified, and I was like, yes, what's wrong? What's happening? What's wrong? She said, the police are here. And I said, who? Y'all came to arrest me for a failure to appear for that domestic violence charge from 2019. And I was like, yeah, but no, sir. So I, in a frantic, right, I'm like, okay, well, I'll meet you at Decatur City Hall. I'll meet you at the police department, turn myself in, right? Well, I go to head out, and my best friend, who I worked with at Temple Incorporated, I'll bring them up in a minute, baby. Hold on.
Ms. Ritchie, we've got 6, if we can wrap up the last point.
Oh, well, all right. Well, then I guess I won't be able to talk about them. All right, where was I at? You keep interrupting me. I'm sorry.
Well, we gotta wrap up the point.
All right,
We got a lot
let
of
me
people
pick where-
signed in here.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, I say all of this to say, do you know why things are so awry right now? Do you know why y'all harass me and try to take me to jail when it wasn't warranted? By the way, I didn't fail to, by the way, let me finish. I didn't fail to appear anywhere. Y'all sent the subpoena to my old address, even though I've had correspondence with you at my new address. So.
Thank you, we've got to wrap up. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, all right. Well, anyway, I say all of that to say.
We got to wrap up. We got to move on.
Good Lord.
There's
Y'all never let me have
No,
any
you're
fun.
good.
All right.
She's giving you, what's your name? Crystal Garth.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Where was I? What was the last thing I said?
You showed up your court date.
You didn't fail to.
Right. Did not fail to appear at the court date, right? So my best friend approaches me at work, and she says, no, don't go yet. Call the magistrate's office and see what's happening, right? So I do. And I tell her what's happening, and she puts me on hold for 21 minutes. And then she comes back on there, and she was like, oh, it was just a computer glitch, and our computer systems are really slow, and yeah, we had sent it to the wrong address, but we realized it, and when we dropped the warrant for your arrest this morning, but it must not have updated in our computer systems, and so Decatur City Police Department did not get it yet, so that's why they came to arrest you. But you didn't fail to appear, the warrant's dropped, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right. Then I go to court, you guys. Then I go to court. The stipulations for them to drop the charges, right, were for me to not get in trouble anymore that year, which I didn't. I went to rehab. And to pay the $343 court costs, right? Right? Okay. Well, I go to the court date, and I've met those, that contract, right? Stayed out of trouble. Well, despite the trouble you tried to get me into. I'm sorry I talked to her again. Anyway, and then I had the $343 on a debit card. I don't know. Especially you gotta have cash, guys. So he said, Miss Goldston or whatever her name is says that it's going to be $343 court cost. I tell her that I don't have any cash. I'll have to go to the bank, which is across the street, y'all. And she says, okay. I go to walk out, and before I walk out the door, she says, Miss Ritchie, just to let you know that if you don't come back, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Okay. And so I went across the street. I got the money. I came back, right? Okay. Then she sends me in the little room next door to the courtroom to pay the $343. You guys, $343. That's important. I go in this little room, and this lady, her slow computer, by the way, hold on. So she says, all right, that's going to be $371. And I was like, what? And she said, yeah, it's the $343 plus the $28 failure. I was like, no. But no, we've already been over this, remember?
Right,
do you remember?
Miss Ritchie, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right, there's a Courtney with a K.
Oh, no, baby, it's a C.
No, it's not you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hello. I'm sure y'all all know who I am, so I want to introduce myself. I just have a couple questions. This first one is for Tab, but he's not here. But it is a paycheck, not enough. Is a paycheck not enough? We pay him, right? He gets a paycheck? Okay. So I feel like Tab is waiting for someone to pet his bald head and tell him that he's being a good boy. But that's not our jobs as citizens. We're not supposed to give you a pat on the back, or at least I'm not, because that's not how you grow, especially when you haven't done anything deserving of any praise. So if the constructive criticism that he's received from us is too much, then he needs to step down. My next question is, if the incident involving Steve Perkins isn't enough to warrant the council to support the removal of Todd Pinion as chief, then are the actions taken by the department following the incidents enough evidence to support the removal? Because I was pulled off the street. I was one of them. If y'all need an example, it was me. How many people this far have been arrested in relation to this incident? Anisha, do you know? Does anybody know? Over 30? Over 30? Okay. So my first example will include my own arrest. If you haven't seen the video, then I'm sure someone in this room can show you. I was held in jail longer for holding a sign with no profanity than Bailey Mack was held for murdering 2 people. My next example would be the night of October 7th, and I'm bringing this one up because me and my mom were a witness to this. We were a witness to 2 officers tackling a woman to the ground for being in the bank parking lot, which led to her suffering from a concussion. This was after we had dispersed and ended the protest. That night, there were about 10 protesters present, and there were at least 6 cop cars. Since October 6th, the police have been more aggressive than ever, and the chief and mayor have given them the go-ahead to terrorize anyone who they feel necessary. My next example, if you need one, is the mother who was trying to document her son's arrest in the Walmart parking lot, and then had her phone slapped out of her hand by the officer. Did y'all see that video? This was only after the officer had chased the son around the parking lot, which is the most embarrassing display of police work I've ever witnessed. The mother was then arrested.
What's your name, ma'am?
My next question would be, if we were ever in a situation where there's a disaster of some kind, who are the first people you save? Anybody can answer this. Who are the first people you save? Women and children, right? Women and children. Bailey Mack killed a child. He killed a child. There's children, right? All those arrests that I talked about, those were women. Multiple mothers, daughters, aunts, and nieces have been arrested for speaking up, while the men in our community sit behind a fake Facebook page and talk about being over for the blue. I mean, back in the blue. I'm sorry. Because that's the easy thing to do. So at what point are the men around here actually going to step outside of their comfortable spaces and stand up for what's right? Because it's been a real holding it down for a couple months now. My last point would be is that I live in the South for the community and the reliance we have on our people. The South has always been known for taking care of our people and not wanting the government to interfere with our lives. So if you believe in living in a police state that you are perpetuating, then stop claiming the South as your home. Because true country Southern people want the government out of our business and out of our personal lives, including the local government. For anyone who is ready to say, well, who are you going to call when you get in trouble? To that I say, I have my Second Amendment right in the state of Alabama, and I will protect myself, my child, and my property. By any means necessary. So I personally don't feel that I have the need for the police department to protect me or to interfere with my life, especially the Decatur Police Department. And lastly, I want to say, free Alana and justice for Steve.
Craig Johnson.
So there's been some information spread around the internet, and hadn't been a lot of clearing that up from the city. So we were told when the case got sent to Aaliyah that Aaliyah simply gathers information and then gives it to the district attorney to make his judgment on what the information says from the investigation. Am I correct on that?
That's my interpretation, yes.
Mr. Herman, you got any idea on that?
You know the answer to that is yes.
Okay. Well, here's the reason I say this. There has been numerous posts, comments, concerns on Facebook saying that Aaliyah came to the judgment that the officer was cleared and justified in his actions. Conversations you've been a part of, but have not corrected those conversations.
Are you pointing it to me?
Yes, sir.
Are you saying I was part of the conversations with you?
Yeah, no, on
Okay.
Facebook.
Via my social media account?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope you can present proof. Since you're just making an allegation.
That's fine. Also, you sit and you say you don't know because you don't have all the facts as to what happened at Steve Perkins' house that night. So since we don't have a courtroom and we can't seem to get there quick enough, I'm no lawyer, but I think Herman can attest to this. You have two options for that night. One, they were assisting in a repo, which per the rules of the state, they can't do that. Now that's the one that you want that guy to use, because if they were going with, he had a gun and we were going to a call of a man with a gun, then they sent a civilian into a situation they knew was hostile, and then they didn't use their lights and sirens. Hold up. Now, if they'd done that, that's no different than entrapment, which would involve a plan as to something per se of, let's see if he comes back out with a gun, and then you're talking about premeditation. So we better roll with that. We ain't supposed to be helping with repos, and that's what we were doing. So those are the only two situations you could have. Which one of those is okay with you? Because they both broke protocol, and I'm guessing
They were fired because they broke protocol, which y'all in turn used. They were assisting with repo. No way this is premeditated. So you got two ways to look at it. Neither way's wrong. So, Mr. City Councilman, which wrong are you standing beside?
Has anybody stated that they were assisting with repossession? Is that, did the police department release a statement that I missed?
No, sir.
Yeah, okay, I didn't miss it.
No, sir. And that's fine. I can have a conversation with you. That's cool.
It's good.
No, I'm talking about the background.
Okay. Appreciate it. So, since you're making an allegation or some kind, I'm assuming that's what you're making, an allegation. You have no
You ain't gonna
factual,
tie my hands.
well, you have no factual evidence of that. So you're up here making comments, which you have the right to do. Please
Yes, sir.
continue to do.
The last time you and I had a conversation,
Well, we're having one now,
I
aren't
put
we?
you in a hypothetical blender out front, and you told everybody the information you had that you weren't supposed to have. So before you enter a conversation,
If I have
with me,
any
don't try to
information
spin
that
me
I'm not,
around.
if I have any information that I'm not supposed to have, then please state what that is. If you have any evidence of it, please do. But you don't, because what you're saying is inaccurate. And just like I'm going to say, probably 75% of the individuals who come up here to speak on the matter that you're speaking about are inaccurate, and that's okay. That's okay. You have the right to
This
say
is
what
good.
you have the right to say what you want when you please.
Absolutely.
You have the right to say what, and that's why you have the
had-
right to come up here and speak to us.
Yes, sir. That's why you had a press conference where you in turn said that you had received information.
I have received information, you're exactly right.
When-
Which I would say everybody else up on this dais has received some sort of information regarding the Steve Bergen shooting. Whether anybody,
I'll say this, I have not received anything that the public has not.
Let me rephrase that really quickly. What has not been public, I'm sure everybody has received what is public so far, just as I have. So let me rephrase that comment. So everybody up here in this dais has received some information, which is the exact same information everybody in this room has received.
So before,
Public.
hold on.
So if you're
Before
implying that I have received information that the public does not have, you would be inaccurate.
Okay. Well, if we present a video of a news conference, you in essence said that you had received information before the ruling was made to indict Mr. Mac Barquette. Now we'll go to this. We'll
Hey,
go.
hold on one second. If we can just, let's let the person at the
Hey, don't.
podium speak.
Hey
No,
guys.
I'm not.
All jokes aside,
it's
we
a-
haven't had enough conversation in this room. And even though we may not like what he says, this is conversation that needs to be had because it's either going to draw out the flies in a crappy situation, and it's going to draw out truths, or we can see where people stand either way. So before you get mad simply because he's stating his opinion, he's allowed to have his opinion. We're allowed to have our opinion. And in the wash, we'll see who was right and who's wrong. We're still waiting on the wash, but in order to have change until the wash gets washed, which is what we need, we have to have these conversations.
Thank you. We just got to limit the crowd. We
Just
can't
to
hear them.
add something to that, while I may not agree with you on everything that you say, that is, I 100% respect you for that and thank you for that.
Well, here's the problem I have with this building, which includes the 6 people that sit up here, the fellow that sits over there that is representation, and everything involved. When it comes to leadership, you have to be able to look at the people on your side and go, that's enough. Why is it that I'm the only one that can seem to do that? Because here, my second point is where I get into this. At the end of October, I come to you, stood right over there, talked to Jacob before I came, got my time, got my extra time, and presented a plan for a march. It was turned down by your police chief, but the 5 of y'all could have voted on it.
Craig, as I said, I did send an email about that.
Yes, sir. But it could have been voted on right here and approved. It wasn't. Then in November, I came to this office, went to the top floor, had a meeting with 2 of you, and I actually proposed a plan. A lot of people don't know about this. Catrella, I think you do. But I proposed a plan for the police and the protesters to start working together to become better as a city. I took it to them and I said, hey, look here. You're asking me to calm protesters down that you've done nothing for. You've answered your mistake with aggression, which tells me right there that is a lack of leadership. My proposed plan was, at the time, there was a little over 18 arrests that had been made. Drop the charges, and we'll talk to the protesters about protesting more peacefully because there was a Christmas tree that got protested. And I said, I can't go to the protesters with nothing if you don't give me something. And somebody had brought it to my attention that, well, there might be lawsuits. Lawsuits can still happen whether you drop the charges or not. And I played both sides. I said, it's a good thing for the city because you might get leniency in your lawsuits because they're going to happen either way. Let's show good faith, drop the charges. They still sue you, but they might not get as much out of you. In essence, that was ignored. I got nothing. Now we have more arrests. In December, after there was still more arrests, and a man got arrested for littering, and then a woman got arrested on Thanksgiving night for being on a bridge, which I said in that meeting will never hold up. I gave reasons why it would never hold up, and I was very thorough in that meeting. Can we agree? In December, after being turned down and turned down and turned down, I came back to y'all, and I said, we want to float in a parade. People ask me why. Well, you don't want your parade protested, and we want to get our awareness out, so let's meet in the middle. The same old butthole. I'll do one better for you. This guy done that. You good? Thank you. This guy done that. And even after working together and trying to work together, we're still met with aggression. We're still met with a 5'0" girl walking down the sidewalk getting charged with domestic or disorderly conduct. I've sat in those offices at your police station and tried to work out deals. Even had the chief's assistant come to me and say, I've had threats, I've had this. I told her, I was like, if you've had threats, and I think me and you had the conversation, somebody's threatening your life, you call us, we'll take care of it. We're not going to beat them up, but we can go talk to them and be like, hey, it ain't even her fault. She said, well, Craig, you don't ever know who's going to throw a Molotov through these windows. I said, the people calling ain't the ones to worry about. She said, why is that? I said, because if it ever gets to that point, the first one to throw them is probably standing in front of you. I have not been shy, and I've never not had a backbone. My wife hates it sometimes. I stood here in one of the first city council meetings and asked why it was just women and young cats being arrested. Why ain't I been arrested? I've been up here yelling, cussing, been out there yelling. They don't pull me over. And I will ask you the same question that I asked the first time. Is it because they know they're crooked and they don't want to take the coin flip on whether or not I'm going to be peaceful? Because that's what it is. How much do you five have to see before enough is enough? You watch your mayor not even sit here anymore. You watch people online argue back and forth. Nobody has stepped in and went, hey, Aaliyah don't even make that deal. Aaliyah does not even do that. Let's cut the crap and meet in the middle and start getting along and understand that trial is a long way away. Y'all want to fight till then? Or at what point do we look at it and go, meeting a mistake with aggression is a leadership problem? Continuing aggression, after we've seen it, after video, I showed you the video of her getting snatched up. That's a leadership problem. I don't know that man from Adam, but I can tell you right now, he's not fit to lead. And there's rumors that say, well, he's being helped by his people under him. And everybody's asked, well, if we knock him out, who are we going to put in? So yet again, I come to you with another solution. If we're going to have somebody be led by the people under him, get him out of there and put Jonathan Macklin in. He's one of the best police officers you have. One of the best people that work for the city of Decatur. Now, he will have to give up some of his time with his African trips where he donates his time to go help people over there, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Because Jonathan Macklin has shown time and time again he loves his city more, if not just as much as anybody else.
We don't want nobody in the house.
But you got to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere.
You don't know about what in-house.
Guys, let Craig
What's about
finish.
outside?
Let's let Craig finish.
No, opinion.
Guys, let Craig finish.
You have people that sit day in and day out and listen, but I haven't seen many actions when there could be actions. And telling people you're sorry is not an action. But I will say this to wrap it up. Mr. Herman, are you allowed to have a city council meeting without the public being able to be present?
A council meeting is a public meeting.
And it has to be open to the public, correct?
It's open to the public, but the dialogue,
executive.
just let me finish. You
Yes, sir.
asked the question. There is no requirement that you, as a public, can speak to the council.
Absolutely.
Okay, you
Yes, sir.
understand?
I'm just saying, in order to have a city council meeting, it has to be open to the public. They may not speak, but it has to be open to the public, correct?
Yes, sir, that's right. It's a
You
public
threatened
meeting.
to end these meetings because things got loud multiple times. Maybe they shouldn't be protesting at the mayor's house.
All right. Thank you, Craig. All right, LaWanda Hampton.
Oh, okay.
Justice for Steve. And Elena needs to be free. And now we're on to what I talked about in the last meeting. About the police entering my hospital room. You all asked for evidence. I brought it. Decatur Morgan Hospital did an investigation into that and sent me a letter. We appreciate you dedicating your time to provide us with your experience. Our mission is to deliver quality care and excellent service to our patients. Based on your concerns you shared on October 26, 2023, a formal investigation was completed. You voiced concerns about Decatur Police Department entering your room without permission upon their arrival at the hospital. You described the 3 cops in full, including how they stormed into your room without warning, accused your spouse of drugging you, and tried to take him into custody. You added that you felt uneasy because no one admitted their error, offered an apology after the accident. The director of the emergency room department expresses regret for the circumstances you faced in addition to the review. The police were given the correct room number by Decatur Morgan Hospital officials while they were on the phone with dispatch in response to the request from another patient. After the officers arrived, registration allowed them to go back to the emergency department without ensuring they arrived at the right room. Until after the incident, none of our staff members were stopped by the officers for a follow-up. I can assure you that measures have been implemented to guarantee that similar occurrences do not occur. Ms. Orr, we thank you for bringing these concerns to our attention. We place significant importance on feedback like yours in advance. Our organization mission is providing better service to the community. It was a pleasure to advocate on your behalf. With this letter, we are concluding the investigation and consider this matter closed as of November 14th. Well, I don't consider it closed, and I will not go away. I want something done. I want to know what has been done. I don't want to hear that I can't hear what has been done to the officers. I'm not going to stand for that. I want to know, and I'm not waiting 5 more months to find out. I am giving, and I quote again, I am giving 1 month. If nothing is done after that, then I will show what I meant today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Carla Johnson.
Let me clear up, I didn't mean to protest at Jacob's house. I meant if something happens in here you don't like, you can let it be known. Don't go to Jacob's house.
Carla Johnson.
I'm gonna give my minutes to her.
Okay. Maggie Porter.
I don't need her now. Can I go next? Is that-
Good afternoon, question answered. Who is his boss?
I'm not sorry, who are you pointing at?
Hunter Pepper.
The people that elected him?
Okay, so it's no chain of command that he has to answer to?
No.
Because he needs to stay off of social media. I about the Perkins case. If he can't say nothing nice, he needs to stay off of it. Hunter, I'm addressing you. If you want to act childish, you need to go outside and play in the playground. This is no playground thing here. Okay, so if you guys can talk to him, or either he needs to get off of social media. He needs to be banned off of all Steve Perkins movements and anything that social media has. I want him off.
You got the screenshots?
All of them.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Can I have a word for a minute?
Hey, hold on. She didn't finish her three. Let me say something.
Hold on, Tamika. I can't just, there's got to be some.
You tell everybody else to be quiet. Why y'all can't tell me to be quiet?
Well,
You sit in here and tell everybody else to
Tamitha,
be
please,
quiet.
I don't want to have to recess, but, thank you. Greg Jones is next. To answer your, hold on, Greg, to answer your question, Hunter is an adult and it was elected. Well, look, how old is he? I'm going to address the question, not you. But he's an adult, he can post, we have no authority over him, okay? No, and when there have been issues that the mayor has done, or any of us, and I've been asked my opinion, I've given my opinion. I can show you where I've done that, where I've said, and I've told you directly, I don't think you should have done, I didn't think you should have had the press conference you had. I told you that directly.
We had a big conversation.
I said it in the paper, I said it on the news. So to act like we don't do that is just not accurate, because I have done it multiple times. He can still do what he wants to do. No, there's nothing, we've gone over this since I think the first meeting. There is not a mechanism within Alabama law, Billy talked about it last week, for us to do anything to remove anything. There's just not.
So
Okay?
I'm curious to know something. Do you get angry because people have different opinion than you do? Is that what it is? Hold on, no. I'm asking. Hold your comments. Hold on. I'm asking you specifically.
No, look.
I can choose to speak who I please to.
Look, hey, listen. If we cannot have this meeting and do it in a way that's productive, which is not people shouting out from the, and what's happening is Mr. Pepper is being asked direct questions. I'm not saying we agree with him or not. He has the right to answer. You've asked him direct questions. Craig asked him direct questions. We have to let him answer, okay? If we cannot do that, if there's continued shouting, I know Craig doesn't like it, but we're just not going to be able to continue the meeting, okay? I want everybody on here to get to speak. I've tried to do it from the second we started these meetings, the first meeting in October. But there's got to be order. We cannot make it into what it's becoming, okay? We want it to be productive. I think you have productive questions to ask. He gets to answer.
Okay.
But if this continues, there will not be, we cannot continue this. All right, thank you. Go ahead if you have a question for him.
He was asking.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I
You
lost.
were saying something about people have different opinions.
Okay, there you go. Sorry, you had to refresh my train of thought there. As I've said before, right? So I held a community meeting back in September, I think, and somebody actually come up and asked, well, why do you act the way you do on social media? And I said, well, that was offensive. What do you mean? I said, social media is social media. People get on there to state their opinions or post about the food they're eating right now, right? Because I post something different. And again, I find it hilarious. I want you to know I find it very funny that we are arguing or people have different opinions over a social media platform. I find it absolutely hilarious that people get angry over things like that when this is as most of you, some of you call me a child, and I probably am a child to most of you because some people are in here old enough to be my parents. That's okay. And that's okay. That's okay. The fact of the matter is this is a place of business, right? Social media is not a place. Hold on. This is a place of business. And so in this place of business, you conduct business. Social media is not a place of business, whether you agree with me or not. You can conduct business on social media by having like a business account or something like that. But it's social media. If you have a problem with it, or if somebody else has a problem with it, and they're probably not going to like what I'm about to say, but get off of it, or deal with it. I mean, and I get people get angry over what people say, or people get hurt, or they have their different opinions, right? I mean, I have personally, as Mr. Gladner has said, he has sent me a text and specifically said, that was ignorant. Don't do that. Don't do this. Everybody has their own opinions on what they should or should not say, right? And you can conduct yourself how you please to, right? And so, in a professional setting, I try to conduct myself in a professional way. Social media is not a professional setting. I mean, and that's an argument that I have all day long with anybody in the world. People choose to conduct themselves in different ways on different platforms.
Okay, but morally, your job, you're held to a different standard. You can't get on this. Hold up. Now,
I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Now, morally, you can get. I'm not being. I'm gonna wrap it up. Believe me, I'm gonna wrap it up. But what I mean, morally, you can't get on there and say you're not supposed to, because you're supposed to be held to a different standard. You're supposed to stand for the people. You don't get on there and go against them. When you know it's something going on, you don't get in it. The best thing for you to do is be quiet. Everything don't need a response. And just like you said, do you get mad about people's opinions? No. Opinion, excuse me, like an asshole. Everybody got one. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry.
We can't have any more profanity. I'm
You're
sorry.
right. I apologize.
You're good.
It came out. I meant to say butthole.
I appreciate
but it came out. I apologize. Seriously. But I'm just saying, I don't get mad about you having a different opinion. But you're held to a different standard because you sit up here on this board. When you got up here on this board, you knew you weren't supposed to be doing all this. You signed that, hey, I stand up for the people. I am here for the people. You don't get, when it's something like that, because you're dealing with people's lives. You talk about the purpose now. These people sitting back here, and we watch you as a councilman that's supposed to be for the people. You get up here and talk about them. What kind of councilman are you? Morally, you're not supposed to do that. You should have a better standard for yourself than that.
Samantha, thank you.
I understand your opinions, but you should have a moral standard for yourself. That's why we say you are a child, because they would know not to do that.
Ms. Johnson, thank you.
Okay.
Like I said, from the last meeting, I really need to talk to you, man, about what's going on in this city. And I want to know that all y'all officials that's up there, who all swore in?
Swore in?
Yeah, like with the Constitution.
We all did.
All y'all. Okay, so, like she said, though, who is over the district of Southeast?
Well, there's two.
Huh?
Mr. Pike and Mr. McMaster.
So who, I'm talking about, okay, if I had to come to one person, one individual.
Depends on where you live.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say Summer Road.
That would be in my district.
Your district. Okay, so then, your district, right? Do you know what's going on in your district?
I'm pretty aware, but I don't know of any particulars on Somerville Road.
Summer Road, College, North Street, Magnolia Street, 14th Street.
I know where they are.
All them different streets, 16th Street.
Yep.
People flooding there like they're having church on Sundays, Thursdays. Come early Monday morning, they fly by there. They're carrying stuff into houses, apartments. And they're carrying surveillance stuff. You know what I'm saying? Steve Wonder blind, he can see that. You know what I'm saying? I live over there. I know how my neighborhood is like. And now you got white cars. That's federal. Now you got black cars. That's state. Who doesn't know a black car is a state car? And who doesn't know a white car is a federal car? FBI. Just like I know y'all dealing with the little cars. I'm dealing with the big cars. I'm dealing with the FBI, Homeland Security. I'm dealing with Boss, Red Squad. They brought me all the way from Decatur to Florida. And then they brought me back from Florida to Decatur. All this misconduct, all this misinformation, all this, we need a lot of affirmative action because all this stereotyping. A lot of people is, you know what I'm saying, we getting fed up, man. Y'all about to blow the lid off. I really need to talk to you because it's threatening. I really need to get hold of you to talk to you. I'm telling you about all these folks. It's really threatening, Billy.
256.
Help me, man.
990-8277.
And you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna tell you a little about you. You was at Enterprise when I rent the car.
I don't know when I've ever been to Enterprise.
Jesus.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jones.
Come on, man. I called you out. I remember.
Mr. Jones, you need to go sit down. Mr. Jones.
I need to get his number.
He just told you it's on the website? Yeah, it is. All right.
Here.
Walter Ward is next.
First of all, man, I'm gonna bring something to y'all attention. Courtney, you was right. Ain't enough men in this community standing up. There's a lot of women out here, and I said this before. But what I noticed is, see, cowards will only address women in a disrespectful way. But you notice he don't disrespect a man. Because he knows when he's standing in the presence of a man, not only a man, but a king. You go from a boy to a man, then you graduate to a king. So let me look at this coward. Yeah, you're right. You should be held to a higher standard because you are a city councilman. Like I told your brother Pepper, like I told your brother when he pulled me over the other night. He said, "Thank you, Mr. Orr." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Because you gave me a second chance to become somebody." Because I had his job in my hands. But you know what I told the people down there? I said, "He's young, he's ignorant, he made some dumb decisions." I said, "Give him another chance." This man shook my hand 4 times with tears in his eyes. And I said, "You know what, Tyler?" I said, "Thank you for when you pulled my cousin over. You followed him to the gas station or wherever he was going, and you bought the medicine for his children." I said, "I appreciate that." I said, "See, the morals and standards that you have as being a law enforcement officer is what your brother needs as a councilman." I said, "Won't you rub some of that off on him? He's a perfect example of what you need to be." I can say what I want to say. He's a law enforcement officer. If I want to say his name, I can say his name. I have all rights to say his name. And I'm not disrespecting him.
I said you were complimenting him.
I'm complimenting his brother. So yes, I can say this. And he's a perfect example of what you should be. Then again, you, Jacob Lappin, there's a lot of skeletons in your closet too, but I haven't dug in on you like I have everybody else. But what I don't like is, if you work for the people, you keep timing us and putting a time frame on our conversations and our complaints. You put 3 minutes on it. But you didn't want them, you didn't have them 3 minutes when y'all was begging for the votes. Huh? Y'all had all kind of time in the world to hear us speak. All time in the world to hear us and listen to us. So we are adults out here. Some of us are a little angry, so we talk a little bit aggressively with passion. That's no need for you to throw the whole council meeting because you feel like you don't want to hear it, man. You chose this position, Jay. You chose this position, man. You showing your true colors lately. We know you tired. We tired. You know, we know you getting tired of seeing our faces. She can never see her father's face. How tired you think she is waking up just seeing her mother? Not seeing her father for breakfast, lunch, and Valentine's Day, and Thanksgiving and Christmas. Don't you think these people tired? They ain't never gonna get to see their people again. I'm in the same shoes. My brother was murdered. I still have no justice. Still with a court system that's keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. I know how they feel. I wake up every day thinking about my brother, praying for justice from a system that's failing us. But for you to be a councilman, you should have more consideration, man. More empathy, more passion for the people that you wanted, that you went to get you voted in. We get 3 minutes, bro. 3 minutes to talk and explain what we have to say. Man, that's BS and you know it. It is. Can I have somebody's minutes? Somebody? Anybody got some minutes? Well, bet. This is what I want to say, y'all, to my people, man. Y'all already know we're not going to get no answers up there. Think about this, y'all. I'm going to put this in metaphorically speaking. When you read a book, and afterwards you place that book on the shelf, when you go back to read that book, do the contents inside that book change or do it remain the same? Although your point of view and perspective may change, it's going to always remain the same from the point it was written. It's time for us as a people to write a new book. That's the only way we're going to change things is to start a new chapter. And us as the people have to write that chapter. So when it comes time to vote, we need our men out here. I'm speaking because I've been on front line with 2 kids as a single parent. Do I think anybody going to come get me if I get arrested? Hell no. Excuse my language. Hell is down below. Yeah. But nobody's going to come get me. But I'm not afraid to fight. Free Elena, justice for Steve, and justice for Jalen. That's what's more important.
First, I would like to say that this is my first ever Decatur City Council meeting. It is my understanding that things have been fairly eventful over the last 12 months, but please understand, I don't know what the special rules are. I have not been a witness to any of it, and I'm here for the first time today. If I have questions for the council, I will ask them when I am done. I request that you please refrain from interrupting me while I am speaking. You can speak through your posts, speeches, and press releases. This is my only chance. And if you do speak or cross-examine me, please stop my timer. All right. First, apologies for showing up dressed as Cruella de Vil. I had no idea I was going to come here today. I got a phone call at 3 o'clock that we have a 21-year-old mother sitting in Morgan County Jail for a charge from here Friday night. Her child is set to be at the pre-K advanced track in Decatur City Schools. Not anymore. Not anymore, because the city of Decatur ordered her held till March the 6th. Although she's on Facebook Live, being very orderly when she caught that disorderly conduct charge. I will not say her name. That is for y'all to discuss. I get a call out of Atlanta 2.5 hours ago telling me this story, and what do? The same thing everybody should do when they find that out. Jump out of your chair, go to the jail, and do something. So the Decatur City Municipal Court tells us 21 today that she is to be held, even though she's innocent until proven guilty, until March 6th over a misdemeanor caught here. Over the nonsense we got going, the yan we got going in here. That is the only reason I'm here. Second of all, at the jail, someone said we were having a very private upstairs 4:30 meeting about Decatur becoming a port city. For all I know, this is entirely incorrect. But if you, thank you. I'm glad that it is incorrect. He said, okay, once somebody said correct, incorrect, I would love to know more about that. But that's also why I'm here, because I was told, possibly incorrectly, there was a discussion about Decatur being declared, possibly by our governor, a port city, which would allow federales, Coast Guard, and all other kind of non-Alabamians to get involved in the yan I just referenced. Again, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope all that information is wrong. But when I'm done speaking, I urge you to correct me where I am wrong. Third, I don't understand why so many city misdemeanors from city cops in City Hall are becoming county cases. As an attorney around here for about 12 years, that's odd to me. Maybe it can be explained when I am done speaking. And why the city is holding this 21-year-old mother of a 2-year-old on a literally should be released on her own recognizance charge, but there's stuff going on in Madison County. That's not what I'm talking about. Decatur City puts a hold on her for a month over a disorderly charge. It's wrong. And if you know that baby is sitting there and you're not doing everything you can do to help it, you better pray. Okay, no. I got she got another 3 minutes. And now that I've listened to the yan, I added some notes. Assisting a tow. We all know that's a big deal now. We've all learned a lot about that. It was happening as recently as December 23rd in the Norge Villa parking lot. We had about 6 officers. I know one of them was Officer Pace, if you need to dig deeper into why that's still happening and causing major problems. I would say a license to protest, which has been brought up somewhere along the way in these meetings, that we would need a license to protest. That's called a parade, and this is America. Lawsuits are coming. I've heard that just mentioned over and over. I got a call from Atlanta 3 hours ago. That's why I'm here. They got a call from D.C. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Let's just put that in the back of your mind. It's coming. Who knows what the outcome will be, but that ship has sailed. And to Mr. Pepper, who finds it hilarious that we're angry over social media. Let me tell you one thing. As a citizen of the city, you are here to represent. As someone who did not come to a single meeting involved with any of this yan, but I know it's going on. I know my city's on fire. And it seems like the city and the citizens are just eating each other alive. All I see is you splayed out like a cover of Sports Illustrated in front of a fountain at the Cooks Museum. You're embarrassing my city. I don't know what's going on in here, but that's embarrassing to me as a resident of Alabama, to me as a resident of Decatur, and aside from all of these facts. If you are going to represent us, I'm not saying you have to, I'm not saying it's not your personal page, but please consider the citizens of Decatur, like consider my mom and dad before you lie down on the ground in front of the Cook's fountain and take a picture and post it again while all this is going on. And please, everybody work together to get that 20-year-old out of jail as soon as possible.
Thank you, Ms. Powell. Lisa Bradford.
Y'all know y'all ain't seen me for a minute. First off, before I go into, oh, there goes a message from our girl. I'm gonna see what she gotta say. Hold on. Listen, before I go on, it's amazing to sit here and watch how you just recognize the little baby girl. That little baby girl spoke some powerful words. And to see the demeanor and the attitude that you just gave her, and to learn since September from now that that's everything but you, that's not your energy you give at all. But I just wanted to address that. But let me go and say what I wrote, because see, that's the best way to get my point across. I can't come in here and talk on emotions, because this right here is frustrating for me. I don't know how anybody who got good morals deal with this and don't have bad nerves right now. I haven't been up here in a while because I know how my mouth gets. It can get very disrespectful. However, I come today because I do also know how to get my point across in a constructive manner. I look at all y'all up here on this podium, and I think to myself, these are all leaders of Decatur, Alabama. The citizens trusted, us citizens, we trusted in you to lead this city in a positive manner and to help it grow. I'm not quite sure what's growing other than our eyes and our ears to see and hear that there's a big problem in Decatur, Alabama. For any leader to stand in front of their people and show the past leadership, it speaks volume. I know Todd isn't here with us, but I do know he's watching. And Todd, I just want to ask you, with your age and your title, how do you justify your behavior as a leader? It speaks volumes about how dangerous it can be living in a small town with poor leadership. There are citizens, along with some rural, including the Decatur City Police Department, that support what has been found to be a murderer. It's as if you all feel that the police don't do wrong. And yes, these officers lost their jobs, okay. But then you get Facebook posts from one of you all sitting up there, Hunter Pepper, that support the murderer. You use the excuse that you don't have all the facts. You don't have all the facts either. But about the 12 jurors who had all the facts, they thought that their officer committed a crime. So my question is, how do you justify that as a leader? What makes you feel that their feelings aren't valid? Hunter Pepper, you got on Facebook and told me I need a helmet. In other words, I'm a mental patient. However, everyone making posts that I see with fake body parts, and you're a leader. You're the one on Facebook degrading the same very people who put you in your position, and you're a leader. Okay, let me get through it. You attack people as if they killed one of your family members. For you to sit and say you're a leader and clearly you feel bad about it because you removed it, but for you to sit and say that and still have the ability to sit up here and act as if you're a leader and you support a murderer, clearly you're the one that needs the helmet. You can do research on my background. I don't care about any of that. Degrade. You ain't gonna find nothing on me. Listen, I gotta cut it short because I know what y'all said, so I'm finna cut some of this out. But my biggest problem is this. You were young, and I was your age once. I was ignorant to life, so I get the behavior. But at some point, you have to grow up. At some point, you have to be accountable. I'm not sure if you know what that word means. It means only mess ups and saboteur. But at some point, you all have to be accountable to the situation. And yes, I've heard you all speak that the mayor does a better, he could have done better. I heard you all speak the chief's a good person. We're not here to judge them for that. We're here to make sure they can do the job that they've got assigned to them. I think that's what we're missing the point. I don't care what type of person they are. I care that they can do their job. But it's like it goes on one way or the other, because here we are months later and no one's still being accountable. You guys have taken and made arrest, you all know who, because she's being loud. You guys have made fine print where there is no fine print. Yet to see a team, I have yet to see a team of leadership in front of me. You guys can't even agree a whole to fix this yet you are leaders with us. Well, I always know everything, but when I know something, I do everything I can to do the research. What are we going to do, and where are we going to put the energy to find a resolution that works with us as the people? I've heard a lot of great things, but I don't have to say anything. I'm sure you're all familiar with Nike's statement, just do it. That's a powerful statement. Don't talk about it, just do it. I need to see results. Lord, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't 3 minutes. Listen, okay, hold on.
Just wrap up the phone.
Okay, I'm finna wrap it up. The problem is here, the elephant in the room, some babies lost their daddy. Some mothers lost their son. A wife lost her husband. And you think it's comedy. Like at some point, you have to be a leader. I need you to know, I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear nothing you else have to say.
No, I'm gonna stop you
Listen,
right there.
listen. At some point, you all have to be a leader.
Hold on, you said.
I don't want to hear nothing, because you know what? You don't even make
I'm gonna
sense.
stop
I got
right
twice the
there,
time.
Miss Bradley.
I'm gonna back up so everybody else can
Miss
speak.
Bradley, you've
But
said
at the
something
end of the
that's
day,
very
it's time
disrespectful.
for the leadership to stand up and be a leader. I don't care about anything else. You guys get something figured out and show it to us. Stop talking about it.
Yeah, Miss Bradley, before you leave, Mr. Case, before you leave, I'm gonna go ahead and say what I'm gonna say here. Because in this situation, and sorry, Mr. Stovall, we're not cutting any time. But Miss Bradley, something you said there that it's very disrespectful. You thought, in some point in time, I don't know when you have found that, I have found that Mr. Perkins' death is humorous. Because hold on, no, absolutely not, I did not. I said that social media is hilarious. I have never at one point in time said that Mr. Perkins' death is hilarious. So you do not need to disrespect Mr. Perkins or his family. No, hold on, be quiet. You do not need to disrespect Mr. Perkins' family or myself by saying that we have found it hilarious that Mr. Perkins is funny.
Thank you. Mr. Stovall.
That's my time. Mike, can you move away from the mic? I don't think that the people on TV.
Yeah, I got it.
We should close. No, you come up closer, but just don't get right on it. 'Cause
Okay.
People on TV can't.
Yeah, your voice projects good.
Okay, yes, it does. All right, so,
Guys, let's let Mr. Stovall speak.
Where I wanna just come in at is, well, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Mike Stovall, and I'm with Standing in Power. I am the liaison outreach person for Standing in Power. So we're very well, I just want to answer a few questions from some of your Facebook posts. It's no Democrats coming into the town pouring money into this project, into this right here. Not a project, but Justice for Stephen Perkins. We have a lot of people in Decatur that are very talented, that are very smart, and that knows how to do this. This is not Standing in Power's first rodeo. They've done this plenty of times. So we know which direction that we're going. We have our different leaders. The demands have not changed. The removal of Tab Bolin and the removal of Todd Pinion. We're not against the police, but we want good police officers. And that's where we stand at. So, I mean, all this side talk or whatever, y'all need to listen to us. Some of the things that's on social media, there's gonna be a war that's gonna start. And it's not us starting this war. You can see it, it's a race war. And it's getting bad. And I'm saying this, and I say it all the time on this microphone, because when the Department of Justice come in, I need them to be able to hear this. The police department against its citizens, that's not good. When Elena got arrested, There was different it was different posts, and you co-signed on it. And it was saying that we're gonna take a trip to Atlanta, and I know which way, and I know a place that we can go eat. Also, it was talking about taking other trips that some people could have took it as y'all were gonna dump her into the river.
Excuse me?
I mean, that's just what I'm saying, that's what people could have took it as. That's why you have to be careful with social media. And that's what I'm saying, like, a lot of this stuff now, a lot of the people from the Back to Boo movement, they get behind these fake profiles and they talk about us, but they haven't showed up. They have the right to speak too. And they have the right to put out whatever they need to on this microphone as well. But what I am saying is, nobody's gonna keep taking the disrespect, Hunter. Because the disrespect that people have talked about Catrilla is just out of control. That should not be coming, and you should not be co-signing it. Jaden was a child that ended up getting killed. We're trying to sweep that up under the rug, but it won't be swept up under the rug either. Truth is what's gonna come out. We don't expect a lot coming from the city of Decatur, but we expect the Department of Justice to come in and clean this thing up, because we know that's just where it's gonna have to go. But what I'm saying is, Hunter, you are a city official. Try to limit your comments. You have the right to speak, but kind of limit your comments on what you're saying about people, because some people are not gonna take that as you selling wolf tickets. Some people gonna buy those wolf tickets.
Mike.